This video is dedicated to a friend of mine who passed away earlier on this week. To anybody who would have watched the vlogs last summer, you may have come across a young man called Oren Tully. Oren was just one of those people I think you come across in life that immediately he hits you straight away as someone who's just out there trying to live his life to the best, despite the fact that he had a lot of setbacks and a lot of illnesses that he could have looked at the situation in a negative way, but he chose to look at it in a positive way. His funeral was earlier on this week and unfortunately I couldn't make it, so dedicating this video to him is twofold. Number one, it's the exact type of adventure that he would have loved to have been a part of, and two, I don't want to let his legacy and the positivity he impacted on everybody around him to die. So thank you very much for watching this video, and Oren, this one's for you. Okay, 100% no bullshit. This is how we got into Electric Picnic 2018. We show you actual footage of how we infiltrated the campsite, and one of us even got to the main stage. Now, I know you're probably thinking this is bullshit, you're skeptical, all that stuff. Before we can delve into any of this, I gotta introduce you to the squad. Number one, Dara Tahini, the viral video expert who I went to Ibiza with, and he's pretty good at push-ups.
Okay, what's up?
Cian Gannon, who's been in the videos a lot, most famous for the Jobestown Tala Lidl reaction video. And finally, Leighton Egan. He's the funny one because I'd never met Leighton before I made this video. He'd only like sent me DMs on Instagram, but he said he wanted to come and I was like, yeah, grand. So he's part of the squad too. Four of us met up in Stephen's Green. We had a few chats, got into the car and started making our way to Stradbally. But we really had no idea how we were going to get in. I put up on my Instagram last week, basically hoping that people could give us tips as to how they had gotten in before. In previous years, just like what I heard with Longitude, some people hop over the wall and try and swim across the lake.
You've also been told that there's the hole in the wall.
Now, everybody was saying fucking going in as a bin man, but to be honest, that was too mainstream and I forgot to get high-vis vests. So some people say like,
oh, I was mugged in Stradbally and I lost my wristband there, could I get in?
Whether or not that actually works, I don't know. But these are all the things that we were thinking as we were going down, but we had to find the place first. First thing we did was get into the car park. As you go in, there's stewards on your left and they're asking you what campsite you're on. I had no idea of the names of any of the campsites and Leigh just said, which car park should we go to? Yeah, which campsite?
Go Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, cool. Cheers. So we ended up going to the Red Zone car park, sitting in the car for a second and really not knowing what to do. After a bit of thinking, we got out and then started walking where all the crowds were. Basically wondering could we suss the place out, maybe walk around the boundaries, see what the story was. As we went in, I stumbled upon basically the main entrance and saw everybody lining up, and we knew obviously we couldn't get in that way, but when we looked to our right there was a staff car park with a wall, and it looks like it was a hoppable wall basically. The only issue with all these walls is that we obviously didn't know what was on the other side unless we saw a gap, so the risk was you jump over and you get caught by security and then you're f***ed from the get-go. So we started walking along with all these fences on our left, and as we were going there was like security people in outfits and stuff, but there was just a load of people strolling along the edge. And different to Longitude, everybody going around Longitude was someone who's trying to sneak in. Everybody who's walking around EP, you could be walking around to be going in or to find a mate, so it doesn't look as suspicious. But the more and more we walked, we realized that there was gaps underneath the fence that you could potentially go under and then hop over the wall. There was a particular point where there was like a big gap between two different security people. When I looked to my left, I could see someone really far in the distance. When I looked to my right, I couldn't see anybody, and it was perfectly spaced so that even if you did jump over and you were slow about it, they just weren't going to catch you. So we were walking and walking, and then I just went for it. Slid under the gate, hopped over the wall. Only little issue now was I called for Cian, but I was afraid the security people had ran after them or something. So then I just ran into the forest thinking I may have lost the guys and I may not see them again. But I had no service on my phone and just had no idea where they were. Once I know I've lost them, I'm just running and running through the forest. But I can hear that there's music, so I know that I'm near to something, whatever that something is. And I just hear the music, so I'm just walking towards the music, man. Eventually I end up getting to this green wall. It's probably around maybe 2.5 meters high, not quite something I thought I could jump up on, but there was little gaps in it. And when I went through and put my phone under, I could see that there was some construction work or something. So on the other side didn't lead directly into one of the campsites. Then I hear some rustling to the forest, and the lads have met me. They ran up a bit and then ended up going through the fence themselves. 2 went under it and Lay went over, and then we all basically met each other in the forest. But the more and more ride I walked, it ended up going onto a road. And I spotted someone and ducked straight away and told the lads that there's someone walking in right there. And when I saw that person walk by, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out, see what's around the wall. You guys stay behind in case a member of staff comes. So I'd go to the side of the wall and then run forward and see that there's a fence. And then on the other side of that fence, there's like a load of tree bark on the ground and trees and people. There's people. If we get over that fence, we are into Electric Picnic. But then I hear what I think is a member of staff. It turns out to be just like a builder going to his van, and I run back through the forest, shit scared. Go up, see if you can peep over the edge. So I get keen to scale the tree to confirm what I saw. So he goes up the tree and he looks and he's like, yeah, there's definitely people in there. If we get over that fence, we're in. So I start to creep my way over, slowly but surely, hoping we can go to the fence and then hop over. And then Dara. And then I say, fuck it, let's go. So I run. When I get to the fence, it's bolted to the wall on one side, and I see that you can't go under it. So I'm like, what are we gonna do now? No, the fence is only this high. It never sort of entered my mind that I could hop over it. So we're there, and then Dara goes, well, there's nothing we can do. And then I'm saying to myself, there's nothing we can do. And then we're hanging there for a second, and Lay just goes, I'm gonna hop over. So he gives me his bag, he hops over. Then I throw his bag over to him, I hop over. Then after that, I don't know what happened to Cian and Dara, but all I know is Cian gets over, and there's a clip, right, of as Cian goes over, the security guy just runs up behind, and he realizes that he can't get over himself. Go. So then we're running, man. We're just running through. We think the people are behind us. We're just running, trying to get into the crowd. My jacket's ripped. I take off my jacket, I put it in Lay's bag, and all of a sudden, we made it.
Wow, I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't.
The area we got into was like side campsites. Basically, we could go to any of the tents where people were staying. The only reason why we couldn't get into the main area was that they were checking for wristbands because it's the first day. So security would ask you to put your hand up like this to show your wrist. And Lay just had his sleeves down and was like, Jesus, it's awful cold, isn't it? And it was just an L1 basically giving the security, and he got in.
Unbelievable, what a day, what a day.
I certainly enjoyed myself. Like, we were there for a solid 4 or 5 hours. I met a lot of people actually who watched the videos. Overall, man, it was some adventure. But I know why we got in. Overall, I learned that mindset is everything. Going into EP, I envisaged it in my mind. I was manifesting it that I was going to get there. Because my mind was in a different place when we were walking by the fence, I made that snap decision to go under it and then hop over the wall. If I was just sort of half in and out about it, I wouldn't have made those decisive decisions. So I think that manifesting things just puts your head in a different space where you see opportunities that you wouldn't normally see. Yeah, good to get another win under the belt. Oren would definitely be proud of us. If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. And other than that, I'll see you next week. We're going to be talking about what it's like living alone. And I'm starting my internship tomorrow, so that's going to be fun too. Right, see you guys then. Peace.